bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast NewsMakers.
Well, I'm glad he could join us. It's political season, as you probably well know, and Ross Mirkarimi is with us right now. He's San Francisco Supervisor, District 5. Ross, your district seems to be doing pretty well. It's my old neighborhood. And the rest of it. When you start to run for re-election, though, and you've been around here, and people know that you are the supervisor, you must have been getting a lot of feedback over the years and say, you know, this is what we're happy about, this is what we're not happy about.
Well, that's the thrust of my first term in office, that I wanted to make sure that we were in connection with all of our people. We have probably one of the most diverse districts in the city, Hayes Valley, all the way going to 19th and Lincoln, to Lower Pack Heights, Japantown, to the Haight area and everything in between. So I set out to develop a newsletter, which thousands of people get in my district and outside. Not everybody does this. It's a volunteer effort that we put together so that we communicate with people to the progress we're making inside City Hall and to the challenges that we're all facing. But organizing has been one of the central tenets of my first term in office, going into public housing, going into neighborhoods, and getting organizations to deal with the problems, whether it's public safety, whether it's the economy, whether it's school closings. That's what we focused on.
Yeah, one of the things that has been, of course, in the news recently is public safety. People are getting nervous.
It's horrible.
You know, we've had some really bad things that are going on here, and I don't know why it seems to be worse now. I mean, maybe the number of actual crimes and killings and so forth have gone down in the city, but maybe because
that's not true, actually. No,
they're going up.
The last 4.5, 5 years, we've had a chronic, sustained problem of violent crime and homicides in particular compared to the last 15. And when I came in office, the Western Addition District 5 had one of the highest, but of the September 15th Examiner, in the matrix shown about the homicides, we now have one of the lowest. And it's because we've been pushing very hard for forms of community policing that is not practiced citywide. There was a brouhaha about 2 years ago when I legislated foot patrols. The mayor vetoed it and overrode his veto, delivering his first veto override, because the people need to see more engagement of police and develop forms of community policing that don't exist.
Yeah, one of the things is, you know, a patrol car driving by is not the same as an officer or one or two of them walking the neighborhood and getting to know by name people who run businesses and so forth.
Especially if that officer doesn't really come from San Francisco or know San Francisco. 75% of officers live outside the city. We don't recruit within the city. So that disconnect is manifested in so many other ways.
Okay. Having grown up in the city, I mean, I thought that was one of the biggest mistakes the city made. That's years ago, was that fact that people could be, pardon me, folks, if you live out of the city and work in the police department, I thought the police department should be in the city, where they raise their families.
Well, constitutionally speaking, we don't have the ability to mandate that, but we can certainly incentivize it. I certainly, in my next term, will continue to push for incentives for both teachers that should be able to work and live in the city, as well as our public safety officers, in particular police.
Yeah, because the attrition of the middle-class family in San Francisco has led to lots of problems.
Well, it's true. I mean, there's a deficit, but I have to say some of the bright spots, which is very telling in my district along the Divisadero corridor and Western Addition, is we're starting to see a major infusion of families, which is why a few years ago I fought so hard against unjust school closures when they were coming at us with a buzzsaw, because the census data that they were going after was completely wrong. And then we said we have to prepare for the present and the future and make it livable and accessible to all, no matter your income scale in San Francisco.
Yeah, you've got to have, you know, in a city to make it vibrant, you've got to have families. I've strongly felt that, you know, and let's hope that that trend continues, the one you were just talking about.
Right, but if it's not on the forefront of the burner of all elected officials, then we have a problem.
Okay, Ross, nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Ross Mirkarimi, supervisor, incumbent, and running for office again because he likes politics and he likes that little beard. That little beard.
But my mom doesn't.
And my mother doesn't. But mother doesn't like it that much.